Good morning, everyone. My name is Katrina K. Tampas, and I'm here to report the women in pre-colonial Philippines. Before Spanish colonization, women in the Philippines enjoy remarkable equality with men, especially in equality in inheritance, equal education, active roles in society, valid sex education, no discrimination between sons and daughters, and high literacy rates. And the people in pre-colonial Philippines are Babaylan, Datu, and Panday. The Spanish invasion brought havoc to the pre-Hispanic community, so it leads Babaylan to resist against them until 1596 and 1780. So now let's talk about the women in the Hispanic period. The Spanish colonization of the Philippines led the subjugation of Filipino women. So it forced them to adopt colonization and moral codes, women rules, education and indoctrination, subjugation and oppression, and literary representation. And the Filipino women rules in colonization are wealth accumulation and power relation, confinement to domestic rules, religion as refuge, propagandas, movement concern. And Filipino women played significant roles in the fight. Women participation in uprising, Masonic Lodge, outstanding women like Gabriela Silang, Gregoria de Jesus, and women in Aguinaldo's army.
Hi guys, my name is Miguel Emelania from BSHM1B, and today I'm going to discuss the women in the American era. After the struggle for independence from Spain, women continued their dynamic role from the Philippine society from 1990 to 1920. Most women groups furthered the presence of women in the public sphere by focusing on charity works and social services. According to Ida Maranan, she documented and observed that the women at this time were bearers and implementers of social reforms within institutions established by men, and my personal observation about this, even the women in this era might run an orphanage, but the overall policies would still be governed, such as institutions were likely still determined by men, because the decision making at this time is at top levels, and all of these are largely done by men. And that's all for my part, and thank you.
Hi everyone, I am Dana Pedro Ramos, and today I will discuss the militant feminist groups in 1960s to 70s. Women in these groups realized that liberation agenda could also address women's equality. Here are some few feminist groups including their contribution. Number 1 is Malayang Kilusan ng Bagong Kababaihan or Makibaka, who exposed how feudalism, capitalism, and colonialism oppressed women. Number 2 is Kilusan ng Kababaihan o Pilipina, where to mainstream women's concern in national transform. The National Organization of Women, or NOW, helped mobilize women for political engagement. Association of Women in Theology, or AWIT, united religious women in advocating for justice and women's rights. Kapisanan ng mga Madre sa Manila provided a platform for Catholic nuns to participate in feminist and social justice issues. Lastly, the Women's Party List groups, including Gabriela Party List, who continue advocacy against gender-based violence and economic exploitation. Abanse Babae helped pass the laws like Solo Parents Welfare Act and the Anti-Trafficking in Person Act. Akbayan, advocate for the reproductive health law, Magna Carta of Women, and gender equality policies. Here are the 10 Filipinas who advanced modern feminism in the Philippines. Number 1 is Leticia Ramos Shahani, a former senator, and she spearheaded the drafting of the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, or CEDAW. Number 2 is Patricia Binis Lacuanan, a psychologist and educator who focused on gender equality. Number 3 is Teretisa Quinton Deles, a peace advocate and co-founder of Filipina. Number 4 is Sister Mary Jan Manansan, a feminist activist, former Gabriela chair. Number 5 is Sister Christine Tan, Catholic leader and activist who advocate for urban poor. Number 6 is Joy Barrios, who is a feminist, playwright, and professor. Number 7 is Lorena Barros, a activist, writer, and founder of Makibaka. Number 8 is Raisa Jujuri, or lawyer advocating for Muslim women's rights. Number 9 is Roselma Ambubuyog, first visually impaired Filipina summa cum laude graduate, advocate for blind students. Number 10 is Rosa Henson, the first Filipina who publicly speak about being a comfort woman during the World War II.
Practical feminism in the Philippines. The Philippines women's movement is characterized by practical concerns rather than ideological debates, focusing on strategies for women's liberation in response to multiple oppression faced by the Filipino women, like for example those in marginalized communities who establish small business and gain financial control, and female community leaders advocating for access to resources like clean water and healthcare, and women participating in political movements and running for gender-based violence. These actions or these examples demonstrate a commitment to complete change in women's life. The next topic is current forms of oppression against Filipino women and their responses. Cynthia Nolasco identifies three majors of oppressions faced by women in the Philippines: the gender-based oppressions, and the second is class-based oppressions, and the third is the consequences of living in a former colony under exploitative globalizations, collectively termed intersectional oppressions. Filipino women face multi-phase oppressions stemming from systemic issues like economic inequality, gender-based violence, and cultural expectations. In response, Filipino women are actively organizing through feminist movements, grassroots activism, and advocacy groups. They are fighting for reproductive rights, economic empowerment, and political representation, and an end-to-end violence through legislative reforms, community-based programs, and awareness campaigns.